Charlotte, and this is the School of Pattern Cutting. In this video, I'm going to show you how with your shawl collar you can use your bust darts to create really interesting style points and sort of use it to fit your collar, or also to use your fit your button. And I think darts are really important for you as a pattern cutter because it's all about your bodies and how it's fit to your body. So we've created a whole course on darts essentials. So if you want to master how to use darts, have a look at it. It shows you everything from beginner to quite advanced darts, and it's got all videos and instructions. But in this video, I'm just going to quickly show you how you can use darts on a shawl collar and also how to draft one of them. So your shawl collar, as you might have seen in my shawl collar instruction video, comes out of the bodice. So what you have is one piece and the shawl collar is attached. So if I open it up, you can see how this is basically your front bodice with the shawl collar attached. So two ways where you can use the darts really effectively is, can you see there's actually quite a lot of issues and tension going on. So if I would make this shawl collar, I would actually cut into it and add some volume to make it sit flat. And that's where you can actually also put your darts. So normally your dart is, if I turn around a bit, your sort of most basic dart would be on the side. Yeah? But instead of that, or you might have it on the shoulder. The shoulder is quite nice because it basically, if the collar is down, it's parallel. So it really accentuates the shawl collar. But what's a really nice way of fitting the shawl collar is to actually move your dart into the neckline, or where your neckline would be. So what you do is, your dart actually goes like this. So it goes up to your neckline, and then it goes into your neckline towards the center back. So it has it's got an angle here. And that means all along there you can actually fit your shawl collar better. So first of all, it's a nice, open it up again. It's a nice design point, having your dart go into your shawl collar. So that looks quite nice, and it also allows you to fit it. And if you wanted to, you could change the angle. So rather than it being parallel, you could go more towards center front. And then you've got that sort of way it goes in and out. And that's quite a nice design point. And then, for example, for your base dart, you could go back in again. So you get that sort of zigzag, which is really highlights different design elements. But the other dart I want to show you is where you can actually treat your dart as your buttonhole. So as you can see, this is my break point, and I've got my button stand, which is 3 centimeters wide. So what you can do with your dart is move it towards exactly where the break point is, and then you can create a buttonhole in here. So you've got like a beautiful buttonhole which is in a seam, so it's really neat, and you haven't got all bits of zigzag stitching. So it looks really high fashion, but it's actually surprisingly easy to make. So I'm gonna draft how to make the dart and how to add the buttonhole. Let's have a look how we can change darts on paper. So I've just drafted out my bodice with an attached shawl collar, and I've been quite precise where I started my shawl collar, so it starts level with the button stand and with the bust point. So my break point is the bust point, and I'm going to really show you how, for example, your neck dart. So you could move this dart towards the neck, so you could have it up here, or sort of halfway, and then your dart looks like that. So that's really nice, because then this is always a tricky part with shawl collar, because that's where you turn it over and it might be some tension or too wide or not enough volume. And by having there, you see this is your fold line. So you can then make it tighter or bigger. So it's a really nice way of making it really fitted. So it becomes nearly like a reverse collar. It sort of uses both techniques. But the dart I want to show you is where you do your bust dart at 90 degrees to your center front. And then it also becomes your buttonhole. And it looks like it's of couture, beautifully. So quite an old-fashioned way, but it's actually very easy to make. So I'm going to first of all draw my new dart in. And then I'm also going to mark the width of my buttonhole. So that's depend. I've done quite a wide button stand because it's actually 3 centimeters. But it depends on the size of your buttonhole really. And it's a bit of trial and error because if you have a really thick button, it needs to be slightly smaller. If you have a covered button, it's all, try it out. You can always, because you're stitching it, you can make it slightly bigger or smaller. So you can see I've marked my buttonhole. So what I'm now going to do is my normal sort of dart manipulation. And in the online course I've made, because I really thought, like these YouTube videos are good to showing you sort of how it works, but I always quite like having instructions and having diagrams, so you can always use all different avenues. So that's what I've done in the Dart Essential. I've chopped up this sort of videos, this in-depth diagrams. So that's, I'm going to cut into here and continue cutting to there. Okay, I also need a bit of extra paper. So I'm going to put my extra piece of paper underneath and glue it on. So all I'm going to do now is tilt my dart and open it in to the front. Okay. So this is my new dart, which also works as my buttonhole. So what I'm going to do is draw on the seam allowance so you can see how you're going to mark it. So normally what you do is with a dart, you have it all fabric and you just stitch it together. For this one, I'm actually going to introduce seam allowance into the dart. And curve it up. So as you can see, this is my seam allowance, and then what I would do is, I'm going to draw my notches. You would stitch your dart as normal. To your notch, so you sort of stitch from your normal dart point to your notch, and then you stitch along here and here, you stitch that back or you stitch it towards your facing, and then you stitch the last centimeter together again, and that means you got a buttonhole there, which is just held together here and here. So it look really clever how your buttonhole grows out of a bust dart, but it's actually really easy to do. I hope this has made you exciting about darts and how versatile they are at adding great design choices to such a classic as a shawl collar. If you want to find out more, have a look in the description for the Dart Essential free course. But whatever you do, enjoy your drafting.